Leon S. Kennedy is a beloved and iconic character in Resident Evil's ensemble cast. As a former police officer turned government agent, he's been involved in numerous virological outbreaks and bioorganic weapon incidents. Despite being pushed to his physical and psychological limits and assigned jobs with impossible odds, he perseveres with a strong desire to do what is right. Although his sense of duty would commonly be associated with his occupation, Leon's origins are far from ordinary. He had a traumatic childhood as his family's connections to crime led to their untimely deaths, leaving him to fend for himself. However, a single police officer's actions and generosity ignited in him a desire to serve, care for, and protect others. After graduating from the police academy at 21, he requested an assignment to work for the Raccoon City Police Department to investigate the widely publicized murders surrounding the area at the time. Despite having no backup plans or residency and breaking up with his girlfriend, he departed hastily to his new workplace, where the events of Resident Evil 2 would transpire. There, he'd find himself in the middle of an outbreak affecting the entirety of Raccoon City, teaming up with Claire Redfield to investigate the disaster's cause. The ordeal had a lasting impact on Leon's character, especially as it all played out during his literal first day on the job. Certainly bad luck for a rookie. Between dealing with all the casualties, heavily mutated, walking, crawling, and hulking horrors, and barely escaping a nuke, one could say Leon performed exceptionally well. So much so that after the incident, he was scouted by the US government and forced into an excruciatingly demanding training regime, turning him from a naive, easygoing young man into a hardened, calm, and collected elite Special Forces soldier. This led precisely to Leon's current assignment in Resident Evil 4, where he's sent on a mission to rescue the president's daughter, who's been kidnapped by a mysterious cult in Spain. Throughout the ensuing events, Leon battles hordes of infected villagers and bioengineered weapons, ultimately uncovering a sinister plot involving a powerful parasite known as Las Plagas. With much more experience, Leon is now better qualified to face whatever insane monstrosities come his way and see through the end of his mission. When it comes to combat ability, Leon is as well-rounded as they come. His extensive training has effectively turned him into a veritable one-man army, demonstrating incredible feats of endurance, strength, and marksmanship. One of his standout attributes is undoubtedly his complete mastery over blades. Whether it's a reliable and upgradable combat knife or any of the frailer yet handy kitchen and boot knives littering the environment, Leon can turn any object sharp enough into a scarily effective instrument of death, wielding them with surgical precision both offensively and defensively. When on the assault, he can slash, covering a wider area with his swings, lunge, taking advantage of his forward-running momentum, and most importantly, inflict precision stabs all over his target, increasing the reach of the knife's thrusts and being able to pinpoint with extreme accuracy which body parts to inflict damage on. It's important to note that, like most things you do with your knives, their durability will wear down, so it's always a good idea to keep that in mind and strategize on your options. Regarding defensive and reactive melee options, knives offer perhaps the most skill-expressive and downright awesome mechanic, the Parry System. By timing and holding up any knife during pretty much any hostile interaction, Leon can parry and deflect incoming aggression at the cost of knife durability. This by itself would already be a big saving grace in situations where there's barely any room to maneuver. But Leon can actually perform a perfect parry by timing it with utmost precision. Perfect parries can end up chopping off limbs, deflecting bolts, axes, explosives, chainsaws, blunt weapons, sharp weapons, and overall unlocking a myriad of opportunities for counterplay and making you feel like a complete badass. To complement his CQC, Leon boasted dexterity, reflexes, and know-how to exploit his athleticism, making the most out of his stamina without wasting it on unnecessary movements. He's able to sprint for long distances and pivot his whole body on the fly for instant 180 turns, which comes in handy for repositioning and escaping tough spots. Additionally, by crouching, Leon can avoid most grab attempts at close range, making it an effective tool against clustered groups of enemies or when quickly surrounded. In specific contexts, crouching also allows him to dodge certain devastating attacks. Hitboxes are very accurate in this game, so crouching to dodge a projectile might be a lifesaver when there's no better option. Laying low also decreases the likelihood of being found out, as he can blend into the surroundings and enter stealth, sneaking through undesired encounters, taking better vantage points due to increased noise suppression, and even easily dispatching crucial targets via stealth kills before raising any alarms or compromising his position. Speaking of compromise, you'll eventually be found out, and when that happens, hordes of angry, rabid, and possessed cultists will likely chase you down to the end of the earth to see your head roll. When push comes to shove, it's time to unleash your inner gun maniac and pave your way by spreading hot lead, popping headshots, and decimating anything that even slightly blinks at you the wrong way.
I will go house to house and kill every single villager, man, woman, or child, all for you.
Alright, that's fucking insane. You sound fucking deranged.
Accessing the mysterious vendor's wares and exploring various locales, you'll be able to carry body armor and a selection of firearms in your suitcase, including handguns for reliable, comparatively inexpensive, and balanced output with an emphasis on mobility, shotguns a slower but effective option for cleaving down foes at closer range and controlling crowds, submachine guns for high firing rates and devastating damage but poor accuracy and range fall-off, rifles that excel when used from a vantage point to pick out pesky enemies, especially when paired with the right attachments, magnums for a high-powered, high-risk, high-reward spin on the handgun archetype, which are costly to maintain but very effective all around, and also, of course, yes, the iconic Resident Evil rocket launcher. One standout addition in the remake is the bolt thrower. This low-cost, versatile weapon can offload a lot of ammo expenditure to its signature bolts, which can be retrieved after being fired, even if they miss and get stuck on any surface. This empowers Leon with a semi-perpetual ranged firearm, perfect for dealing with small encounters or when resources are low. Additionally, explosive mines can be crafted and attached to regular bolts, increasing their damage and utility exponentially. Indeed, attachment is a key word when discussing the available arsenal, since many of the weapons can be customized with several augments such as sights, stocks, and laser pointers alongside the upgrading system. This ensures that no matter what, you'll always have your favorite loadout all decked out to your preferred playstyle. Naturally, sometimes more utility is needed, and there's nothing quite like a reliable grenade to obliterate swarms of unsuspecting threats. These items come in 3 variants: hand, heavy, and flash grenades. The former 2 are the weaker and stronger versions of a regular explosive hand-thrown grenade, serving as extremely damaging situational items. The latter is the go-to crowd control option, momentarily blinding and stunning most enemies within its range, opening them up to prompt interactions, combat knife finishes, or allowing Leon to escape hairy situations. It also has the unique ability to instantly neutralize any Las Plagas parasite that has been manifested outside of its host's body, and is therefore exposed to the flashbang's light, as these foes are extremely vulnerable to UV radiation and the like. Going off of this seemingly specific mechanic, many of the threats that Leon faces throughout his adventure are similarly open to having their weak points exploited or exposed. With careful observation and some ingenuity, you'll be able to find creative ways of incapacitating, maiming, and dispatching many threats with ease. By taking advantage of the limb targeting system, using any of his melee or ranged weapons, Leon can target individual limbs that, if damaged badly enough, will cause the enemy to enter a crumple stun animation. The usual weak spots to look for are the head, knees, or any joints. During the staggered state, Leon's able to walk up to them and perform his iconic roundhouse kick, dishing out tons of damage and throwing the recipient far away with great force, often making them collide with existing structures and terrain or even stunning other nearby enemies. It's also possible to sneak up behind the stunned target and quickly dispatch them using a knife execution or even perform a suplex. In addition to this, it's also possible to knock most weapons off enemies' hands with a well-placed slash or shot, as well as detonate their explosives or Molotov cocktails preemptively, turning their own tools against them. If Leon is able to fully knock down an enemy, he can also perform an instant knife kill while they're writhing defenseless on the ground. This is particularly useful for stopping villagers that are in the process of mutating. Equally important is the ability to break away from certain grab sequences by using a knife, sacrificing quite a lot of its durability as a way to regain control of the situation. As a well-trained Spec Ops soldier, Leon is extremely creative and quick-witted when using his surroundings to his advantage. He relies not only on his own prowess and the loadout he carries, but also on making use of several traps scattered across the village, castle, and island. Anything that yields a tactical advantage will be used, including bear snares, explosive barrels, chandeliers, and even cattle. He may even pit his foes against each other by means of friendly fire. Overall, Leon is a skilled survivalist who's defined by his creative problem-solving, quick thinking, persistence, and determination. He maintains a calm and level-headed demeanor even when faced with overwhelming odds, making him an extremely effective agent, complemented by his vast array of gadgets and weapons that he carries in his trusty suitcase, which he can even swap out and customize for different bonuses, such as increased ammo drops, increased health recovery, and many more. His motivations and skill sets contribute to his depth and relatability as a character. Leon's dry humor and jaded outlook on life allow him to prevail in situations where most would succumb to despair. It's for these reasons that he's a definitive fan favorite amongst gamers and action horror enthusiasts. If you want to see how a true movie star looks, sounds, and fights, then Leon S. Kennedy is the one to watch out for.